Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. All about nutrition from your favorite dietitian. Everything you need to digest in your mind. Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. Making you healthier one bite at a time. With Tony. Woo.
Hello and welcome to the Tips with Tony podcast. I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time. I'm very excited for you to meet our next guest, Katy Henderson. She is a nutrition coach and personal trainer, and she is here to share a ton of information that we are going to benefit so much from. So, Katy, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, Tony. I am so pumped to be on here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm gonna give you all the info on how to follow Katy, but Katy and I have known each other for a little over a year now, I would say. Yeah. And she's just I think she's just someone who's very special. She brings light to this world. And right now we're recording this during the whole pandemic of the coronavirus. And Katy is really one of those people that I think is helping to spread positivity, motivation, and really helping us get through this pretty dim time. So thank you for that, Katy.
Thank you for saying that, Tony. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So the first question I always ask is for you to introduce yourself by saying who you are, what you do, and why you do what you do.
Awesome. I love that. So just like Tony said, my name is Katy Henderson. I am from Detroit, Michigan. And I'm a personal trainer, a nutrition coach. This has not always been the industry I've been in. I got into the industry, into the health and fitness industry, because I came from struggling with my weight, struggling with my mindset around food, trying all of the wrong things until I found what was right, until I really started learning and educating myself. And I was able to really take a turn with my health and fitness. And I thought, if I can do this and feel this amazing, I want to help so many women feel the same way and do the same thing. And so I just started learning more and getting certifications and personal training, group fitness, nutrition, hormones. And now I'm on fire. I cannot just stop preaching the word to women that food is fuel and nutrition is amazing and moving your body is amazing. And we don't have to live in this realm of being self-conscious and hating ourselves and not seeing results. It sounds too good to be true, but it really isn't once you learn how to do it.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us a little bit more about you mentioned that you were overweight and you maybe punished your body when you worked out. Tell us more about that mindset and what you did to shift it to a more positive outlet.
Yeah, I think we live in this world that is just so damn numbers based. Everything is a number on the scale. We relate our progress, our self-worth, our workouts, everything we put in our body to this number on the scale. And that mindset, I just think is negative. It's defeating. And that is really that's what I knew my whole life. I grew up in an amazing family, but not in a family that focused around nutrition, around health, around moving your body. That wasn't ever something that came natural to me. Being in shape, quotations I'm using, never came really natural to me. I grew up struggling with my body image, never feeling good enough, definitely up and down with weight. And then, you hit a point and it was probably early 20s for me, where you start to recognize your body a lot more. We start to get into this world of social media, of comparing, of look at that girl, look at this girl I went to high school with. Oh my gosh, they're in so much better shape. Then the Instagram realm came around, and it was you have all of these fitness people and you sit there all day and compare yourself. You're like, I don't look like that. Why don't I look like that? And it starts, and it's never the mindset of, I don't look like that, so let me go about this in this really normal, healthy way. Let me try and just eat some healthy food. Let me try and be in a small calorie deficit for this long period of time. what if I just started walking more? It's never those thoughts that go through our mind. It's like, oh, they're promoting a detox. They must have done this in 7 days. So let me get that tea. Or, there's this like 30-day crush HIIT program where you eat super high protein and you're on 1,200 calories, and look at how they look at the end. And we look at their images and say, man, if I could look like that, I'd feel so much better. Mm-hmm. So you start trying all of these things, and some of them might work for a couple of days, yes, but nothing is realistic. It's nothing you can do for 30 days. Mm-hmm. And you try one and it knocks you down a bit and you feel defeated. And you try another one and it knocks you down a bit. And before you know it, you're 3 or 4 years into this realm of, holy shit, I hate myself. My body's not responding like everybody else on the internet. And you start to really just develop this nasty relationship with your body and with food. And that's really where I came from, like this really, really low point. Mm-hmm. And for me, it took starting to work out properly every single day, hiring coaches that knew what they were talking about, hiring coaches that knew about nutrition, and just truly learning how the body works. When you start to learn, especially as a female, how your body works, how hormones work, how a calorie deficit works. And not only that, but you have someone to walk you through that. It truly is life-changing. Mm-hmm. And when you get on the other end of that, for me, I came from hairstyling before this career. So my whole life has been like, I just really want to make women feel better, do something. I can do something to make them feel better. And I thought, if I feel this good, why can't I switch this into my career? Why can't I make women feel better inside and out on a different level? And that's really, that was 5 years ago. And that's kind of how I transitioned to now.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that's very helpful to hear. And I think that, when you mentioned that you started working out properly. So let's elaborate that on a little bit more. What's the difference of someone exercising maybe improperly or not the most, let's say, less effective way?
Yes.
Someone exercising in a more effective way to see results, not just on the scale, not just losing weight, but like you said, helping them gain that confidence, feeling good from the inside out. What type of action? Yeah. Let's go through both.
Let's go through scenarios. Okay. Yeah. So I think you have the scenario of working out really unhealthy. The people that, and I shouldn't say people, I was one of them, right. But where you feel like,
no judgment, guys. You guys,
no judgment, zero.
A sincere place of just helping you see the bigger picture.
100%, because I trust me, I've been all of these that I'm about to explain to you. But you have the scenario where you feel like the only way you're getting a good workout is if you are absolutely dripping sweat. Or the only way you're getting a good workout, which kind of ties in, is if you're doing cardio for an hour. Mm-hmm. And then, you have, so you're, a lot of times you're pushing your body in these intense situations. You're doing these long extended cardio workouts, and if that's what you enjoy, that's totally cool. But you also have to know that that doesn't always relate to weight loss, and it might not always be the best thing for your body. And what's also, I feel like, is what's negative about that is you feel like, if I don't have an hour or an hour and a half to work out, there's no point in doing it. So you get this really all or nothing mindset. I don't have an hour to just go sweat on the treadmill or the elliptical. So you know what? I'm just going to skip today. And that could translate into the next day and the next day. And you're never going to have this perfect scenario where you have all of this time to be doing that. Mm-hmm. And I think it's very easy to get in a situation where you feel really down on yourself. You have to know that if you only have 20 or 30 minutes, you can absolutely get an effective workout in that amount of time. And it doesn't have to knock you down a peg, and you don't have to feel I just think it's living in this realm of knowing that there is a lot of in between, and cardio for an hour or a HIIT workout for, again, 45 minutes, an hour isn't always the right route to go. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of people relate that to the number on the scale. And then a lot of people also relate overworking out to the number on the scale. You know what? One day a week isn't or like one workout a day isn't working for me. So like I talk to some women where I get on the phone with them and they're like, I'm working out 2 times a day. I'm doing these HIIT workouts. I'm doing strength training. I'm doing runs. Like they've started all of these different activities where they're not even focused in one area and their body's not even responding anymore because they're just putting it under so much stress. Mm-hmm. And the reason for the workout is stress. The reason for the workout is a number on the scale. And to me, that's just going about it the completely wrong way.
Right. Right.
So pivoting, I guess, to what the right way to work out is, I will never tell somebody that. I work with women that have all types of different things that they enjoy, from strength training to bar to HIIT workouts to marathon runners to CrossFit athletes. Like I work with a wide range of people who love to be able to move their bodies. I'm not here to tell you what the right way is. I am here to tell you that you should not be working out specifically for that number on the scale. And if that is your only reason for working out, then you're doing it wrong. Mm-hmm. You need to be working out for your health, for your mental sanity, to be able to build muscle, to be able to live longer, to be able to play with your kids, to be able to wake up in a body that you're really proud of every single day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So I think that just to go back a little bit, I think what we should talk about a little bit more and expand on a little bit more is, I've said it all the time. I hear it a lot with diet, like that all or nothing mindset.
Yeah.
And like when we really get down to it, it's really trying to be perfect. And because if you can't do it perfectly, you're not even going to try at all. So if like, I can't do cardio for an hour, or I can't sweat my butt off, like it's not even worth doing it. And so that's how we get these like inconsistencies or just like lack thereof. And then it's like, then you get tired and then you kick it up a notch and then you're like, I can't keep up with this. And it becomes really like, it's like a very vicious cycle and it's very unhealthy. What would you say to someone who is really struggling with that, like perfectionist mindset?
Yeah, I would give them a virtual hug right now because we can't do in-person hugs. But I would say that is, I don't know about you as a coach, it's a majority of women that come to me. And I think that's just in general, the women that I talk to, connect with, have all come from an all or nothing mindset or are struggling with that right now. So first, know that that's really normal. That's kind of what diet culture has created. That's what we have only known to believe is the right way, but we don't realize that we're doing that. And we don't realize that's kind of our demise or the reason that we haven't lost weight or the reason we haven't hit our goals. So the biggest thing I teach my clients first and foremost is that this journey is just as much mental as it is physical. And that all or nothing mindset is a huge piece of the mental aspect. Mm-hmm. And so you have that 0% and you have that 100%. And we need to learn how to live in the 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%. Because if all you have to give that day is 40%, if your kid is homesick from school, if you're busy with work, if you're working on a project, that's not abnormal. That's normal. It's called life. You're always going to have these things. You're always going to have these obstacles. It will never go perfect. So you need to learn how to live in that 40, 50, 60%. Because let's say all you have to give that day is 50% or that week. You know what? If you give 50% every single day consistently over a long period of time, you will absolutely get to your goal. You will get those results. But if you can't do it that week and you give 0% on 4 or 5 of the days and then 100% on 1 or 2 and then back down to 0, you're always going to be, taking 2 steps forward to take 3 steps back. It's you're always going to be in this swing, this roller coaster. If you just live and accept that, like, hey, anywhere from the 40 to the 80% is where I need to live consistently over a long period of time, girl, you are going to get to your goals before you know it. Yeah,
for sure. And I think also the lesson there is that, you could work out all day long, but if you don't address your nutrition, then you're definitely not going to see results as well. So I think kind of going back to that last piece where you were like, a lot of people, and I experience this too, they'll come to me with, they've been working out, like they're doing 2-a-days and they're doing high intensity workouts and they're not seeing the scale drop a bit. And not only are they putting their body under immense amount of stress, but they're either significantly under eating or they end up overeating. Most of the time we all know it's like the under eating during the week and then the overeating on the weekends combined with high intensity training. It's just like a really bad combo. So, So I guess let's talk a little bit more on the nutrition aspect of kind of what can someone do in that side to kind of break out of that perfectionistic mindset.
I think one of the best questions you can ask yourself on the days where you're like, I wasn't able to prep my meals. I don't have any meals left for the week or whatever that might look like. You forgot your lunch, doesn't matter. Like, are you making the best decisions possible? Mm-hmm. Like, if you have a day that doesn't go your way, if you have a week where you're not able to meal prep how you want, you need to say, okay, so this is my, 50, 60, 70%. Like, I can't be perfect today. Can I make the best decisions possible? And I know probably for you as well, we set like action items for our clients each week, things that they can focus on. So it's like, okay, so if we're looking at adding a veggie in at each meal, like, were you able to do that? Yes, that's a success. So mark that as a win. Why are we feeling guilty about that? And I think I think the biggest thing is it's a process. Yeah. It is knowing, like, letting those weeks happen and living in that middle, that gray area, and still seeing results in your body. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, this actually does work, Yeah. Like, wait, I just dropped a half a pound in a week where I barely felt like I did anything. Oh my gosh. So it's like, boom, there's a little crack filled in that foundation. And then that happens. And then you're really good for 2 weeks and you see results. And then that happens again. And all of a sudden, boom, you still see results. You don't feel off. You didn't take this like 3-day absolute binge because you couldn't do anything that you wanted to do. Another little crack filled in that foundation. And before you know it, you're building this awesome foundation. You're building this amazing metabolism to where you're going to be able to see the results that you want to see.
Yeah, for sure. Hello, I'm interrupting this podcast episode for a brief announcement and special offer just for you. Did you know that April is IBS Awareness Month? Well, if you're someone who struggles with IBS, then listen up because I have a special offer just for you. Holy Ghost IBS Restore has been clinically proven to help nutritionally manage the symptoms of all types of irritable bowel syndrome, including constipation, diarrhea, and a mixture of both. Many who use this medical food have experienced relief in symptoms such as less bloating, less diarrhea, less constipation, and more normal bowel movements. 48% of users reported an improved overall quality of life, including an increase in energy, decrease in irritability, and just an overall better mood. It comes in a powdered form, so you can put it in your water, in your smoothie in the morning, or even your hot or cold cereal. It doesn't have any flavor or coloring, so you won't even notice that it's there, other than beginning to feel symptom relief after adding it to your daily routine for a certain period of time. It doesn't contain gluten, preservatives, GMOs, or soy, and it's free from artificial flavoring, sweeteners, and colorings. This is not like your typical probiotic. Holy Ghost IBS Restore actually contains unique microbiome nutrients called HMOs that fuel the good bacteria that are already in your gut rather than bringing in some sort of good bacteria that hasn't been there before. So unlike probiotics, which add foreign bacteria to your body, IBS Restore works with your body's own good bacteria. Simply put, it works by selectively nourishing and stimulating the growth of your own good bacteria, activating them to thrive and outperform the bad bacteria. So if you want to give Holy Ghost IBS Restore a try, go to holios.com or the link in the show notes. And don't forget to use discount code TIPS30 at checkout to get 30% off your order. I think the biggest issue is that because of diet culture, most likely, and I think, so there's that saying, like, nothing worth it in life is easy, right? Yeah. So there's this perception that weight loss means working super, 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 super hard. Yes. And then when we tell people, like, actually, it just really requires paying attention, adding more vegetables, drinking more water, consistently exercising. Like, yes, there's effort required, and yes, there's work required, but it doesn't require you to feel like you have zero energy at the end of the day. And then on the flip side, what I find is when I'm working with the first couple of months working with a client, they almost feel like they're not doing anything, and they get super anxious, and they're like, is this working? I don't know if it's working. And I'm like, just try. Like, the hardest part for them is just patience
It's
and
trust.
trusting and being okay with losing. Because I know when you said lose half a pound a week, I know everyone was like, but that's only a half a pound. And I'm like, but we know, we talk about this with our clients all the time. Like,
Yeah.
trusting a half a pound a week. If you lose a half a pound a week, that's 52 divided by 2, right? So that's because there's 52 weeks in a year. So 52 divided by 2 is about 21 pounds? No, 24 pounds.
26.
26. There we go. There we go. 26 pounds in a year, guys.
Yeah.
26 pounds in a year.
And so the following question is, when was the last time you were able to lose 26 pounds consistently in a year?
And keep it off.
Yeah.
Right? There's how many times have you gone up and down the losing 20 pounds, gaining 20 pounds, losing 20 pounds, maybe in a couple of months or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? But this is because when you're working on your habits and your behaviors and you're putting in a moderate amount of effort, but not an extreme amount of effort and not zero amount of effort, then you're more likely to consistently achieve those results. So I just hope that people are hearing that, it's really, really important to hear that message.
To kind of play off of that, I don't know if you saw my post I did maybe a week ago, but it was a tweet that I put up, and it said,
because I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, it's about MyFitnessPal. Hang on, let me pull it up and read this. So for all of the women out there that have tried MyFitnessPal, it says, "Dear MyFitnessPal, please stop giving people the option to lose 2 pounds per week. A 7,000 calorie deficit is irresponsible." Mm-hmm. And I think that's a perfect example. This is an app that can be very useful. This is an app that I actually encourage my clients to download to create awareness. But that's part of the problem. Like, 2 pounds a week sounds sexy. Who wouldn't choose that? Of course. But 2 pounds a week is not going to be manageable. It's not going to be consistent or healthy. You're going to be hungry as hell with 2 pounds a week. That's not something that you can repeat consistently. So why are we doing that? Let's set it at a half a pound a week, maybe 1 pound a week, maybe depending on the client. But even then, let's take the focus off of weight. Yeah. If we put the focus on habits and creating awareness and creating accountability, that number will follow. Right. Hands down.
Totally. Yeah, I completely agree. One thing we were chatting about before we started recording, which I think is important to talk about, is in general, I think we can agree that chasing a number on a scale is never really healthy. That, like we just said, habits are more important, focusing on what you can control, consistency and stuff like that. And recently, due to unfortunate events, a lot of us are kind of really forced to, if your schedules have been changed, you're working from home, life is crazy. Maybe you are in the health industry, maybe you're a nurse, and you're right now, thank you for what you do, by the way, or medical professional. Yeah, or EMT or restaurant, whatever it is, whoever you are listening to this, thank you. Thank you for doing your part. Thank you for staying home and keeping us safe and washing your hands. And then thank you for going out and taking care of those who need to be taken care of. With that being said, this has caused a lot of stress, turmoil, change, confusion, anxiety. I mean, we're all in this together. So I think what we were talking about before is it's right now not that we can't lose weight during this time. And I know that your clients are still working some of them might be still working towards weight loss. I know some of mine still are. It's just, it is an added challenge. And I think that this is the time right now to maybe really remove that pressure, because it's only going to add to the stress and the chaos that we have going on right now.
100%. Yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. I mean, yes, this may be a time where you still see progress. If you do, that's amazing. But look, your health and fitness journey and feeling good in your body doesn't always have to relate to weight loss. You can be in this realm where, look, we're all going through change right now. Everything is heightened. Emotions, anxiety, stress is heightened. Nobody really knows what to do, what direction this is going to go. So why are you adding more stress to it? Why are you you know what? I'm going to set this big weight loss goal and get on the scale and make myself feel like shit tomorrow morning. It's no, let's not do that. Let's take back from that. Why can't the focus be mental health? Why can't the focus be laughter and being happy right now? Why can't the focus be moving your body? And I think for me, you said at the beginning, like, I really am trying to be this like light and create community. And like, I want to get you up and get moving. I want to make you smile. I want to make you laugh. Yes. Do I want you to get results? Of course I want you to get results. Absolutely. But I don't want that to be your main focus right now. Your main focus should be, hey, you have a little bit more time. Like, how do we create structure in your schedule? How do we make you feel normal? How do we create your new normal and still make you get up and feel really good in your body every single day? Like that, we have to pivot the way we're thinking right now. We have to pivot what's important to us. And I just would totally disagree with anybody that says weight loss should be at the top of that list.
Yeah, 150%. And if you are feeling that way, we need you to recognize that it's coming from a place of chaos and not having control. And we think that our weight can be controlled, but it can't be. It cannot, because even if you do control how much you eat and how much you exercise, we still don't know what our body's going to do.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to actually predict how much weight is lost or not lost, or how your digestive system is going to react, all of those things. It's very, very challenging to do. And so we're going to challenge you to really ask yourself that question. Like, why am I feeling like weight loss is at the priority top of my list right now? Right?
Yeah.
Like, why is that a case? And then ask yourself, what's going on? And then find the healthy ways to control the situation. Right? Yeah. Like there are things that you can do that I think would help, but we never want it to be the extreme.
Absolutely.
Really important.
You have to find other ways to fill your cup. You just do. And you have to find, like, your focus right now should be, how do I keep my body balanced? How do I keep my stress under control? How do I keep my cortisol levels down? Because you want to know what? When your cortisol levels are down and are balanced, you're way more likely to see weight loss, but you're not going to get that if weight loss is at the top of your list.
Right.
Focus on a feeling. Focus on how you are feeling every single day. Like, that's number one, spending time, creating memories with your family, staying safe. These are things that should be at the top of our list right now.
Right. And then I will say, on the flip side, kind of going back to why we want you to just really practice getting away from that all or nothing, is the mindset too of like, oh, well, it's impossible for me to lose weight, so I'm not going to take care of my health. And I'm going to sleep in later, and I'm not going to exercise. And, I'm just going to wait for this all to be over, and then I'll start working on my health and fitness goals. So have you noticed that, or have you seen that, or what would you say to someone who is experiencing that mindset?
Experiencing the mindset of focusing just on the weight loss goals?
No, of the opposite, of like just thinking like, okay, this is their new situation. And now it's not, so it's like, because they are focused on weight loss alone, they're now thinking this is not a time for me to lose weight. So instead, I'm going to do nothing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so they both have the same mindset of the goal is weight loss. And we're obviously saying to remove that, but then there's that it's like the all in or the all out.
The all in or the all out. Yeah. And I'm definitely, even I think clients are struggling with that right now, because what's happening is we're removing all of this structure from our life, having to be up every single day, having to get ready for work, having to, and when you remove that, you start to feel less important or less valuable, or I can't do all of these things. I can't go to the gym and get my normal lifts in. I can't take my classes. So I'm just going to do absolutely nothing. And what you're doing is you're doing yourself a major disservice, because you could be taking this time to really focus on yourself, to build yourself up, to shift perspective to other things. I mean, we live in this state of like constant, I talk to people like there's never enough time. There's never enough time to do this, to do that, to be able to get yoga in, to be able to focus on mental health. Like, this is it. You have time. You've been given this opportunity of time. We all have a million projects around our house that we've been wanting to work on that we always say we never have time for. This is it. And if you don't make yourself feel valuable, if you don't make yourself feel like start checking things off the list in this time, you're going to go down this slippery slope, and you're going to be really, really unhappy in 4 weeks when we come out of this, where you could do the absolute opposite. You could do, you could get up every single single day and move your body. You could focus on getting your stress levels down, focus on yoga, pick projects around your house, make memories, like start a new habit. These are things that we never have time to do. And you could truly build yourself up. Like there's really just two directions to go. Like you're going to go down the slippery slope of feeling really invaluable, or you could really build yourself up for this time. And if you go down that slope of feeling invaluable and doing nothing, you have to understand that's a choice that you're making. Mm-hmm. It really is. And you have a choice to say, okay, I cannot do everything perfect, but I can do everything 60 to 70%. And that's going to put me way ahead, way more than 0%.
Right. And I think regardless of this current situation that we're in or in the past or anything, I think the biggest takeaway here is taking advantage of the time you have. Like, I think that's could recap it, right? Like, so sometimes we might have a ton of time, sometimes we have a short amount of time, but what can you do with that time?
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
the question I think we need to ask ourselves, regardless of our situation. During this, when we get out of this, how can I utilize this time in an effective and efficient way? And also recognizing that every single moment of your day doesn't have to fill up for you to feel important or to feel valuable.
Yes.
And I think that's the part that I know a lot of people are struggling with. I know I'm having a lot of conversations with my clients like that, and this is the hardest thing. And this is where it goes more into the mental health. And I think I've worked with my therapist and very open about that, and feeling like my self-worth was dependent on doing things. And
yes.
Constantly doing things. And I've finally I'm about to be 30 years old where I can say, I actually am totally okay with, I'm okay with doing nothing. Doing nothing for me is it feels okay. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And that's a really hard place to get to, but I would practice that here.
It's a very hard place to get to for a lot of people, just being okay with just being.
Yeah.
Yes, I want you to feel accomplished each day, but I think if you focus so much on that, it can make you feel the opposite. Totally. And I think at the end of the day, you have to start each day and say, okay, what is going to make me feel happy? What is going to make me feel healthy? What is going to make me feel confident in my body? Like those are questions you should ask yourself. And that list doesn't have to be super long.
Right.
But you should be doing something every single day for yourself. And then on the in-between time, just be okay with just being.
Yeah. And it's a practice. It's really hard to get to, but I think this is the time to practice it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, Katy, I want to be mindful of your time, but I definitely want to give you the opportunity to kind of shout out where people can find you. I did one of Katy's live workout classes yesterday.
Yes.
It was yesterday, yeah. And it was amazing. And so we know that unfortunately there's a lot of negative happening in this world, but there's the positive side of increasing community. And I mean, Katy, I could have never taken your class unless I came to Michigan.
I know.
As much as I would have loved to, I'm in New York, you're in Michigan, that would have never happened. So I got to experience your class. I absolutely loved it. And I think we were talking about earlier, which I think is important, guys, if you do want a reason to get up and to stay motivated, there are wonderful apps out there and free programs out there and YouTube and things that you can follow and DVDs if you want to go old school, even, oh my God, I know someone with a VHS system. If you wanted to go, old school, there's a way to do it, right?
For sure.
But yep. I in this current situation, taking your live class was going to a class, and there's nothing better than that because you're fully engaged. You have no reason, you can't really stop. I mean, you can, but you're less likely to just stop and give up in the middle. You're pushed by a trainer. It's working with a personal trainer. If anything, it's even.
I'm calling you out in class too.
What?
I said, I'll call you out in class. I'll be awesome job.
You can see everyone.
Yeah.
So it's a little different. It's that's how group classes are. But honestly, it's even more, I would say more personal training within a group, but you're seeing everyone. I don't know. Anyways, it was amazing. So I strongly encourage you guys who are listening to definitely sign up for more live classes, because I feel also if you schedule it, you're more likely to do it. It's more engaging, it's more beneficial. And then more importantly, if you could do Katy's classes, I've taken them. I love them. I'm excited to do them this week. So just talk about where people can find you, connect with you, and learn more about you.
Yes, absolutely. I would agree with you on those live classes. It creates a sense of accountability that you do not have from an app or from YouTube. And I also think you create more connection. Like everybody that shows up to my class, I'm like, I just freaking appreciate you all so much. Like it's so different when you're waking up with an instructor or someone that you follow or a coach that's there and you're like, it's a familiar face. It's like, we all kind of need this like virtual hug right now and encouragement, and that's what it is. And then on top of that, you get this amazing workout, and 45 minutes later, you're like, that was the best thing I could have done this morning.
Yeah.
So I encourage everybody to check out live classes. I would love, love, love to have you at mine. I offer all kind of a variety of classes. A lot of them are based around strength training. I have some really good mixes that I play for music. I saw you post it on your story yesterday.
Yeah, I love that. If you like 70s R&B, there was like Cisco in there.
I love it. So you can find, like, my classes are going to be posted each week, the link in my profile. So you can find me on Instagram. My name is Conditioned by Katy. Katy is with a Y, Katy, but you can find, classes, sign up for the classes at the link in my profile. I would love to see you there. And I'd love to have you a part of the community.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Katy. Is there anything else that you want to add before we wrap up?
No, I appreciate you so much for having me on here, telling my story, and just being able to support women. Yeah, I love that more than anything.
I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. Guys, go follow Katy if you haven't already. If you're not already subscribed to the Tips with Tony podcast, please subscribe. A new episode comes out every Monday and every Wednesday. If you have any questions for me, you can follow me on Instagram at tips_with_Tony, or you can email me directly at tipswithtony@gmail.com. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening. As always, I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time.